I am Eon, and it's time to look back at May 2025 sci-fi releases from 3D printing, Patreons, tribes, and other creators. I know you get tired of me saying this probably, is that a lot of sci-fi creators released throughout the month, so let's dive in. There's a lot of things updated here. Aether Studios has put out these pre-renders, it would seem, of the Fighter Bay. And the Makami roof I thought was pertinent because it could be done in a modern or even futuristic setting as well. We have Project Daedalus 2. Atlan Forge has put out the Minoan War banners. We saw the preview from before, but there are 18 of these guys. 18 different banners. I don't know that we'll look at all of them here, but just wanted to show you a few of the prints. And here is, I guess, the 18 or so that you could print off, or 9 and 9. Beyond Space has put out release number 4, the Exalted Purifier Loadout 2. We also have release number 5, Exalted Vanguard Loadout 2. They've been experimenting with colored renders. These could possibly be fantasy, but I think they're sci-fi. 8-Leg Miniatures has the Cordyceptic Ammo Beetle. There's a lot going on with that critter. Are those its eyes? In addition, we have these various weapon options. El Mutanto's workshop has put out a few more preview images of what they're working on. So these could be future releases and not this month's, but if so, I apologize. That's my confusion. Kill Me for Prizes, KMFP Designs, has the Martian Cyborg's Dynamo Crawler. Comes with lots of different options for however you want to load it out. The Maker's Cult has put out a part 2 of their release for May, which is always a growing release. I have tried to piece together better renders and explanations of what you're getting. Let's see how I did. Iron Hive Zentry Mark II. So you can see all the different head options and torso options and weapon options that you can piece together. Here we have the Universal Guard Heavy Weapons Teams 3. Looks like we have 3 main gun options. Daughters of War Tactical Infantry Builder. These are the Obsidian Guard. I think these are the Immortals and they are the Genie, but I may be wrong. There's a couple of titles there, and I may be wrong on that. Primus Scions, the Frisian Transport. All loaded in and ready to go. It was recommended to me that I include Modern Miniatures, so I think that was Alric. Thank you for mentioning them. I had not heard of them before, so we'll keep them in the loop. We have the Arctic Recon team for the month of May. Here's the research station, which that does come off in the middle there. The Ecosphere Dome Arctic building. The snowmobile comes in 2 different versions. Modular submarine kit, and I like the fact that it can come with like little ice chips as though it's breaking the Arctic ice. That's pretty cool. And you can expand it, you can add missiles to it if you prefer. That was just pretty cool too. They have put out a few renders of painted models in the environment, and these are the things that I personally just really love, is seeing the models act out a scene like that, however you want them to. So I just wanted to include a couple of those to show you how you could use these and put them together. Mr. Modulork is continuing his releases. Here we have 4 of 6, the Uman's Runts. I'm not exactly sure. These are supposed to be humans, or are they supposed to be like a half-orc variety? I'm not sure. Here, 5 of 6, we have Uman's Boss, which means we should be getting at least one more release from Mr. Modulork this month. One Page Rules is continuing with Orc Marauders, so let's look at what they've got. So here are the Orc Marauders for the month of May, all in one place. For Star Quest, we have Jackal's Guardian as a character, and some desert area terrain, because that could be used in any setting. For the war fleets, we have the Nomad's Fleet. And I believe I've pieced these together properly. These are the Orc Marauders Veteran Leaders. These are the Veteran Leaders on bike. It says on biker, on bikes. On the right, we have some veterans. Lots of different veterans. You'll notice some of these are female, some of these are male. Some have hats, some don't. Some have certain weapons that others don't. Here we have our veteran bikers. Some more veteran bikers, and some battle trucks. And finally, some themed bases and game aids. Oshouna Minis has put out their May release. Here's everything at a glance. This is the SEA Coalition Artillery Battlesuit. A couple of different weapon options there. Crab Cult Standard Bearer. And some monolith shards. Papsikels has put out a few bonus releases, as they typically do throughout the month. Here we have the Lions of Habibi. Here we have an elite reward, the Xeno Puppy. I think I misspoke about that in the June preview. This was the one I was thinking about. Here we have the Nazarene Communicant, and it comes in a couple of different varieties. This is obviously for Trench Crusade. I think it's obvious. Maybe I'm wrong. And here it is crouching. Here's the Pandakan Assassin. Always interesting to see how Papsikels grows throughout the month. Piper Makes, I don't think I ever actually put out what they were putting out. This is their phrasing, May V2 Arcus Scouting Class Void Frame. So all of these different options that you can put together however you would like. And here's how you can put them together. I know these are just renders, but they're such clean looking models. Print Minis, who apparently I have not updated either on. We have Papa's Wieners from the Riser District. We have Big Berta, the Giga Grinder, and a Corpse Winch. Why do we need a Corpse Winch in a Wiener place? It's not mystery meat, right? Tentacle Station, the Boot Smoker for added flavor. And what's cool is that this even has a detailed interior with wieners. Here we have Flesh Forged Female Gang Expansion. Here we have the Devourer, a Silent Spectre Gang. It's kind of cool to see that it comes with food. We have some various terrain for the Flesh Forged. We have Amni Med Dispenser, Column of Chains, a heavy nail cannon, a Forge Barricade, and a Gang Totem. Here we see Herminius II, Hellspire Splicers, and a Gossip Seller. You know, that model could probably be used in a fantasy setting too. Here we have an energy generator for Zone Zelvik, and some pipes. It's compatible with the pipes and such. We also have the Flesh Guild Master Pit Fighter. Printerra Studios that I apparently have missed out on. Here's what you're getting for the month of May. We have an Iron Wall and an Iron Wall tank. Here's Titanium Ecclesian and some props. A Scott Trencher and Iron Armor Defender. And Cautionite, as well as some bases. And Mechanical Scott Tanker. Project Mobius in May is doing a pagoda, the Shin Idu. Comes with several floors. And a residential building. And a Nemelith. Very narrow, but vehicle. PS Miniatures has Space Elf female snipers. Very nice, clean models, too. Puppetswar Miniatures has just put out their first preview today, so good thing I haven't recorded this yet. The Mastiff Heavy Grav Tank. And that is a behemoth of a tank. Notice that it comes with several different weapon options and loadouts, depending on how you want to use it. There it is with a miniature for scale. And here's just a good view of showing you all the different loadouts that the turret can have. Or even the tank itself. Red Pilgrim Miniatures has Ecclesiarchy Ministorum Guard. 5 different models here. We also have Lieutenant in Machine Armor. It says the price of a mile. He seems to come in a few different sculpts too. Or head options. RedMakers and Adeptus Miniatures has put out both of their previews for May. So let's take a look. Here we have the Iceward Division Imperial Force. Line Strikers, the Kaiti. The Hiveborn Mind Caller. It's kind of neat that her staff looks like a piece of DNA, actually. And Imperial Guard, Veil's Ghosts. Show you all the different models here. For part 2, we have Omniforge and more Iceward Division. So here's the Imperial Guard Iceward Division. The full regiment is 44 units. And we're not going to look at all of the different poses, but pretty typical how RedMakers works with this every month. Here for units, we have basically a command squad. I believe it's kind of like a communication, a musician of sorts, bannerman, champion. Here's Kill Squad Omniforge. So there's a brief look at all the models over on the right that you're getting with this set. And this is a very varied set. We'll look at a couple of the models in more detail here. Like, you have to admit, just seeing that model holding up the other in the clamp is pretty cool. I thought that it was a gun blowing it away, but I think it's holding it. This is Rizzenvoth, the Realm of Gears Miniatures. Primary Mage of Mandates. However you want to make your warlord, it comes with many different options. RPG Figures puts out one fantasy, one sci-fi figure each month. NR Patrol Automaton for the month of May is the sci-fi release. Sir Nicholas Miniatures has put out the Lore Keeper, which could possibly be fantasy. And we have the Oromo Warsuit kit. Just to show you what some of the options look like once these are assembled. Skullforge Studios has given us this preview of what they anticipate for the month of May. I did goof up in the previous May preview video. Thanks to the viewer for pointing that out to me. These are security drones, Authority. It's quite a lot of them. From Arsenal Fireteam Delta. These are modular miniatures you can put together in different ways. The Protest, Gendron Civilians and Resistance. I believe these are inspired by a recent sci-fi show that was on a network. I don't know how much of these things I should actually say, but I think it was based around Andor. Covert Sniper, Authority. Utility Wing Gunship, Crash Terrain. I haven't caught up on Season 2. I need to. Skullforge Studios, the Adversary Battleship. Again, different weapon options. The Adversary Cruiser Mark II. Again, a couple of different weapon options. Terran Parts Pack 2s, and then an example build of how you can use that. And then apparently this Terran Special Forces Cruiser, A, B, and C, we'll look at in a second, are the May-June loyalty reward. Stationforge. Now, they have a new tier out, and I don't know very much about it in all honesty, but they have a recycle tier is what they're referred to it as. For $6, you get basically 5 releases. They say it's like $60, $70 worth of miniatures that you can unlock by using this tier. So definitely worth considering if you're a fan of Stationforge, and they do a lot of great work. They have the Free Guard Infantry, and apparently this is a new faction in the world of Stationforge. Scavenger Snipers. Grimguard Flamers. Gotta love the smoke effects. Orca's Assassin. Comes with 3 different head options. Grimguard Support Vehicles. Got kind of that old world vibe to them, doesn't it? Like World War I, World War II. All the different seated miniatures. Tablehammer has put out their release. Here we see Nasara the Cursed. Comes with a couple of head options. You can build her with wings or without wings if you prefer. I do believe this guy is Chapter Lord Rylos, and he comes in a couple of varieties, either on the ground or, well, floating. These are the Renegade Guard Core Infantry and the Skimmer Wreck. Traders Galaxy Miniatures and Games. We have here a giant Titan, eventually turned into Gordonon Stronghold for White Knights. Dark Wrench is also here. Part 1 of Dokal's Angels. We have Building 4 in their city series. Hollow with an open floor. And Retro Robot RR39. There's quite a lot of stuff going on in this release. They also have these Dungeon Denizens for fantasy based. And here's the Retro Robot they were talking about. Txarli Factory has some more ruined buildings for us this month. Have to love the fact that it's FDM friendly. I don't think I caught renders of all of these because there's a lot of stuff going on, but you get the idea. Right? Velrock this month has Mandalorian soldiers. I always thought it was cool in the original season how he had to build up to better weapons and the jetpack and things like that. It's like watching a character in an RPG level up. You know, it just added something to the season. Vermillion Miniatures has put out Demolishers this month. Seems like just about everyone has some sort of heavy weapon. Not quite everyone, but most everyone. Wargames Atlantic has changed up their tiers this month, so be sure to check that out if you subscribe to them. I need to do that myself. And here's a look at everything you get for the month of May. Let's look at the sci-fi or modern to sci-fi releases. Here we have from Napoleon's Wars, the French Cavalry Officers Vignette. Here we have General Gordon. A French Towed Mortar. SCW Nationalist Foreign Legion. Apparently this was in the late war portion. I am nowhere near a war historian, but that's probably important for people. These are general accoutrements. It says these are no man's land cavalry pill bases. So I guess these are intended to mount your cavalry on. For Death Fields, I'm pretty sure this is the Raumjäger Command. Desert Rats Command. I love the large cigar he's smoking. And I guess these are the Bulldogs Cavalry Commandant. Riding on a Velociraptor? Kinda, sorta. I don't think Wargames is done this month either. Wargame Exclusive has the $1 May the Fork Be With You tier. Comes with a couple of droids, as well as a couple of people with, I guess those are Hydra Spanners or something to that effect. Orc Mad Rider's Zogged Head Splitter. Chaos Guardsman of Changed Way T2. If I ever go through any of these too quickly, all you have to do, of course, is hit pause. Greater Good Ashigaru Field Rangers T2. They have the kind of like the hoof-like feet. I'm taking note of that for later. See the hoofs, yeah. They remind me of that Alien in Discovery, too, but I think it's Tau-based is what they're intended to be here. Maiden Sisters Matriarch Militant. I expect her to come in a not safe for work variety, but I'm not sure. If it's so, I have not seen it. I did think it was neat, though, to show that they show the magnet slots, so you can figure out, you don't always have to be married to one particular way that she's loaded out. You can change that as you want. Mechanic Adept Pyrohakos Riders. Pyrorakos. Orc Mad Rider Youths with Shootas. Renegade of Pain Obliteration Fleet Honored Commander. Greater Good Windcast Pilots. These are the same as the previous people, so I guess these are the Tau-like characters. You can see their feet are very different. But I like that. I like the uniqueness of these models. Mechanic Adept Leviathan Engineer. Yeah, I think I didn't do Wargame Exclusive this month. I'm sorry about that. They are always extremely more prolific than I give them credit for. Warmachine has put out Major Grant Vargas Ghost Dogs variant. I think I must have missed this guy. I don't know, but I am including him here now. And well, on that note, folks, we're going to call it quits for the second review of the month of May for Sci-Fi releases. Thanks for watching and dealing with my video. I hope it showed you something you may have been interested in, or maybe not, depending on how you want to spend money or not. But always very interesting to see what all these creators are putting out. And if we can, we'll look again before the month ends later this week. Thanks for watching. Bye.